is Senator Catherine Muyeka Mumma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this bill. Mr. Speaker, this is the easiest bill to pass because it's about passing funds that have already been negotiated. So properly speaking, this is a law that should have passed ages. We've delayed for 8 months as a result of the pull and push, the egos of the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I was a member of the mediation committee on the SIGA bill, and it is so unfortunate that we could not discuss anything coherently because we were being blackmailed. We were being asked to speak to governors to withdraw the case on RLMF, or there would be no discussion at all. Mr. Speaker, we tried to bring it to the attention of members of the National Assembly that what they were doing was not only undermining the people of Kenya, but it was also undermining the government program. For those of you in Kenya Kwanza, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda is actually seriously undermined by this delay. I can see majority is not here, but when you look at the first schedule, Mr. Speaker, the first schedule is about additional allocations from national government revenues, which actually means it is about implementing projects and programs that are within national government development agenda. Some of this includes the what was promised in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. And I remember trying to raise it to the then chair of budget, who was the co-chair in the mediation, Mr. Ndindi Nyoro. I was asking him, I thought you are the supporter of bottom-up economic transformation agenda. How do you undermine this? Because all those projects that you should be showing Kenyans that you're implementing, you promised to come up with industrial parks in partnership with county governments. It was not county government's agenda, it was national government agenda. But you are here undermining the passing of the law that will deliver on that. Mr. Speaker, we will need majority leader, when you people have your PG, to actually advise your colleagues in the National Assembly that some of the decisions that you make actually undermine your own development agenda. So we won't be able to show much on all these programs in the first schedule because of the ego trips between the National Assembly, actually mainly by the National Assembly, that have delayed this issue. I would like us to apologize to the CHPs and to the county government health workers for the delays we have had, which are completely unnecessary. The payment to CHPs and the payments to the county government health workers that have been delayed is a total unfortunate occurrence, and we need to apologize to them. Unfortunately, we had to pass this law, but the National Assembly would not let us pass this law. Mr. Speaker, I think we need, in my view, to come up with ways in which the SIGA can actually pass without the shenanigans that we've gone through during this period. So I'm requesting that the Finance Committee or the Senate at large seriously consider whether there is an alternative way in which SIGA can pass without having to go through what we've gone through recently. Mr. Speaker, I would then want to speak to the fourth schedule. The fourth schedule is about the development partners funds that are being on additional allocations. Mr. Speaker, out of 14 funds, only 2 are grants. 12 of those funds are loans. And I think we owe it to the Kenyan people to give the monetary loss that has been occasioned by the 8 months delay in operationalizing these loans. And I am suggesting that the Finance Committee get a report from the Parliamentary Budget Office, an assessment of how much has been lost in terms of public funds when we consider the fines and the commissions we have to pay, because as soon as we signed those grants, as soon as we signed the loans, the charging has already commenced. It is important that the people of Kenya get to know. It is also important that the National Assembly gets to appreciate how much we are losing as a result of these ego trips. So it will be good to know in terms of the penalties that we are being charged. It would also be good to know the value loss that we have had because of the delays in implementing the projects that ought to have started. If we don't bring this on, if we don't actually put a value on what we are losing, then they don't appreciate. They imagine it is just a matter of showing who is, it's an ego trip about who is or who has the powers between the two houses. And it will be good in future for us to be able to tell the Kenyans that we are losing this much because National Assembly does not want to implement devolution. Mr. Speaker, I'm requesting that that figure be given to us on how much we have lost on the 12 loans in terms of the commissions that we are being charged and the commissions that we are being charged and the cost of not implementing these programs. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the schedule on the court fines, I totally support the committee that even though they have passed it, we need to find a more transparent formula in which we can determine how much of these court fines are coming in and how much each county has to get. When you look at that schedule, it's very few counties that are receiving any monies out of the court fines. I have no clue why it is only those counties. It will be good to know how much we are getting out of this and how much in terms of apportionment will be going to all the other counties as well. So as I finalize, my plea is that as a Senate, let us ensure we don't have a repeat of what has happened, and that might mean that we think out of the box in terms of how we want to pass the SIGA bill, and if it means there is a big conversation around within the summit and among the two or between the two houses, we need to truly find a solution so that National Assembly appreciates that funds that have been negotiated in loan agreements, grant agreements, funds that have been put in budgets courtesy of the national government development agenda are not held back merely because we want a particular fund to pass. I think it's the most shameful thing that they use the RLMF to actually blackmail the country on very, very important funds and to delay the implementation for 8 months. Mr. Speaker, I support this bill, but request that the issues I've raised, which are important issues, be looked into by the committee so that we do not have a repeat of this in the coming financial year. Thank you.